Welcome Gemini to your reading for the month of January. In this video we will be looking at some of the things coming up in the month ahead for you. So different challenges, different questions, different insights, opportunities that are coming your way in the month of January. And we're going to split this up into 3 cards. So one for the beginning of the month, one for the middle of the month, and one for the end of the month. So just a very simple reading. I do want to point out that this video is for everyone who identifies as Gemini. So it doesn't have to be in your birth chart as your sun sign, your moon sign. It doesn't matter. If you resonate with the Gemini energy, then this reading is for you. So welcome, and I hope that it serves you. I also know that in this first week of January, a lot of us are looking at intentions for the whole year ahead. And I really want to take some time to center it back on this month. So this reading will look at what is available to you this month, and we'll be asking, especially one intention, we'll be asking the question, how can we begin to manifest that which we most desire in the month ahead? So maybe you can take a moment and reflect on that as we shuffle, and then we'll get started. Okay, so as I said, we're about to just pull 3 cards, and I'll go ahead and read those now. And we'll just go through each one. So just jumping right in. The first thing we have is Earth and Taurus. And so this is again about the beginning of the month. Earth and Taurus is symbolized by wool. So that's the symbol for this card. And it really talks about... one second. Yeah, we're really looking at questions of, I guess it comes to mind the idea of like having, what is the phrase, the wool pulled over your eyes. I don't remember, but definitely the question of looking at what things we're taking for granted is really what this card is talking about. So things that we don't see, things that provide us comfort, and we take them like they're the standard. We don't ask questions about them because that's what we are used to working with. So really looking at the things that are most comfortable for us, the things that are part of our habits, and just look at how they may be, may or may not be serving us in January. So at the beginning of the month, that's really the question there, is looking at in what ways are our comforts serving us. And so in the middle of the month, we might see that being articulated a little differently. And we have Jupiter in Leo. And Jupiter in Leo is the puppet. So with the puppet, again, we have a similar theme, like what strings are being pulled here? Do we know all the information? Are we in control? Are we exercising our agency this month? These are some of the questions that are coming up at the beginning of the month, and they seem to continue into the middle of the month. So you definitely, Gemini, want to be looking at some of your habits and the things that you assume. So maybe it's familial habits, maybe it's the way that you talk to others, maybe it's things that you're doing in your workspace. These are just things that you've taken for granted and have always like done them this way. And we really want to be asking if we are pulling the strings and if we know what that's doing. And there may be some deception happening from others. Maybe we don't know the full picture. Maybe we're waiting for more information. But really, I think this is pointing more inward. And so you want to ask, are you allowing yourself to see all the pieces that are moving? Or are you, in what ways might you be manipulating the information that you're receiving and presenting something other than your most honest truth? We know very much that the Gemini mind is a very sharp one, and it can move a lot of details around. So it's definitely a time to use that to be questioning, what might I just be justifying? without actually thinking through it and being with that. What might I be telling myself that isn't actually serving me or isn't the case right now? And turn that energy towards a really reflective process where we can ask what's really going on behind the scenes here. That's really the theme at the beginning and the middle of the month. And so as we come to the last, we have Ceres in Taurus, which is the seed. And so this may actually, this may be an opportunity, Gemini, to really start something new in regards to your habits. So we're starting with Taurus, right? That's our first card. And we're also ending with Taurus. Oh, yeah, just make sure that's in focus. We're starting with Taurus and we're ending with Taurus. And Taurus is about habits. Taurus is about comfort. Taurus is about pleasure and the senses. And a lot of times Taurus doesn't always arrive at seeing the full picture. And here the question really is pointed towards how much of the full picture are we choosing to see. So it's a very actively engaged question, and these cards serve as reminders to really see if we're actively engaging our truth or if we're passively accepting some form of it. Surely, if this is the case, if the latter is the case, then we are probably already aware that we're not presenting our fullest truth. And so this is really just a time to sit with that. And if we arrive there before the end of the month, then when these energies come about, we have a seed and we have an opportunity to really do something very different. And so to me, this looks very simply as a practice of greater honesty, internally and externally. So knowing that what you feel is your most honest truth because you've engaged it fully and very emotionally and honestly, you're aware, and then making the choice to represent that truth honestly as you move out into the world. So in your career, this is absolutely a time where at the end of the month, at the end of this month for you, Gemini, in January, you may find yourself inclined towards, maybe you think that dishonesty will serve you in achieving something that you've wanted. And this is a time to really question if that's what you want to manifest. I'm inclined to say that it's probably not going to serve you here, because Ceres in Taurus is really it's about newness. So if there are previous patterns or habits that are not being analyzed, this is the time to check those and see what they're doing. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at the end of the month if you're engaging a process of really full honesty and asking a lot of questions. That's with all the sharpness of your mind, Gemini, to really ask a lot of questions and trust your process to be able to sort them out. So that's what's coming up here at the beginning. Just to summarize again, at the beginning of the month we have wool, and so we're looking at comforts and we're looking at things that we might take for granted, ways we might be exploiting something. And in the middle of the month, that's reaffirmed again with the puppet. And at the end of the month, we really have a chance to do something different. So definitely this month looks like one way that you may really benefit and manifest that which you most desire, Gemini, what you honestly really are wanting. The thing that might be in the way is a less than fully honest practice. So that's what's coming up in the cards here, is really an opportunity to gain a lot of insights from just practicing more honesty with yourself and those around you. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope that this really has served you. Please like, share, and subscribe if this video gave you any clarity or insights or understanding today. And thank you for watching. With love and light, Amani.